And now, I consider it a great honor to invite Member Finance Shri Naresh Salecha sir to give the keynote address. Sir, please enlighten us with your valuable inputs for the IRAS officers.
Good morning all. Respected all my seniors, Srimati Vijayakant, former Financial Commissioners and Chief Guest of today's IRAS Day function, my colleague and batchmates, Shri N.P. Pandey, Additional Member Budget, Srimati Reena Ranjan, Director General, IRIFEM, Shri Niyar Jambu Sariyaji, President ICAI, my dear colleagues from General Railways, PUs, Railway Boards, various other organizations, and probationary officers. First of all, let me place my sincere thanks to Madam for accepting my request to be chief guest today. In fact, it was after a lot of persuasion, she finally accepted. Also, I place my sincere thanks to Niyarji. In fact, last week, he happened to be in my chamber and we were discussing along with Vice President Devashish ji about what we can do and what is happening around in the financial world and accounting world. And we were taking stock of our association of last 5 years in accounting reform, since I personally was involved during my DRM-ship of Ajmer when this accounting reform process took off, which he mentioned in 2015. And right now about this drone technology use of this stock verification, which we are finding certain issues, which he mentioned. And we just gently mentioned about this IRAS Day. And I generally mentioned to him that this we are going to celebrate, and mentioned whether he would be willing to address and share what is happening in the institute and happening in the general world, and address the officers and particularly young officers and shares and what we can do and collaborate. And I was very gracious of him to immediately readily accept despite his busy schedule, because I know the president of Institute of Chartered Accountants keep on moving. Even during pandemic, he has got a lot of responsibility. Thank you, Niyarji. And my sincere thanks again to Reena and his team and Surbhi for making this function so beautifully organized. Friends, it's very well said, out of adversity comes opportunity. And now IRAS Day has truly evolved with Pan India functions. As my earlier speaker mentioned, with the help of the technology and IRIFEM, very well coordinated today, we are interacting across the geographies and zones in this august presence of many seniors from whom I learned a lot and have tried to emulate. Mr. Vijayakant mentioned names of former FCs. I have also worked with them, right? Mr. Shivkumaran and Mr. Vasudevan and Mr. Vijayakant and so many. I mean, I'll be failing if I don't mention the names. So generally, I really acknowledge their presence and their contribution personally to me in what I'm today in my teaching. I welcome them all in this beautiful sunny morning, which I now converted to afternoon. Last year, 2020, as we know, was one of the most challenging years of the humanity. Railway too faced unprecedented challenges both operationally and financially. In this backdrop of these economic conditions, a series of deliberation with Ministry of Finance, I was personally involved, in fact, a series of meetings, sometimes more than 3 hours each, which ensured Railways a unique financial package of 79,398 crore to be precise, which not only helped to meet our present obligations and also to ensure that Railways again on a growth curve. The role of PFAs has become extremely important during the pandemic. They have become leader of our frontline staff. Between the need to control expenditure and ensuring safe operations, they are walking the tightrope. We acknowledge and we appreciate the way IRAS ensured financial robustness during the testing time. While nation was under lockdown, our people, our officers, our staff adapted to new technologies instantly and ensured all financial, all contractual commitments were honored, working day and night from home, even on holidays and Saturdays, Sundays. Foresight to create IT infrastructure like iPass and e-office help us in mitigating the situations. Launch of miscellaneous e-receipt systems, traffic accounts management systems, and so many other IT products will further take the IT initiative forward for better customer experiences and MIS reports. Although it may be slightly premature, since like our accounts are likely to be finalized by 14th or 15th, but I'm confident, as Shri Pandey AM Budget mentioned, that railway will be ending up in a better position financially than compared with the revised estimates overall. Our likely capex for this year, last year, 2020-21, is likely to be more than 1,50,000 crore, which is going to be much higher than last year and highest ever for Indian Railways, which again proves resilience of this great institution called Indian Railway, which we all love and cherish. And a lot of contribution comes from all our IS community, for which we owe and we really sincerely appreciate the contribution made by all of you. Friends, loading has compensated for large shortfall in passenger segment of revenue. Active roles played by business development units, where our accounts officers were very critical role to play, was appreciated by all of us in board, and Honorable MR noted and appreciated in particular. This year, RFC was listed in NSE on 29 January. I was fortunate to witness of this bell ceremony. This was further strengthened its standing in the market. I'll recall about 2 weeks back, RFC has gone to market in the market operation from time to time. They keep on going. And this time they had raised about 1375 crore. And this deal was first time they have taken the loan, which was 18 BPS lower than the GSEC of the parallel 20 years benchmark. This is quite unique because like getting the loan or taking from the market loan lower than the GSEC is quite something very, very good, something very, very unique, which reflect the faith marketplace in the institutions backed by Indian Railways. I urge all officers to take keen interest in this. I understand Keshav is going to present presentations on market with the Romance and along with his other young officers. I personally look forward to see what he is going to present in the presentations. Friend, Mr. Vijayakanta mentioned about change. Niharji also mentioned about change. And Pandeyji also talked about, yes, bureaucracy in general, you would have seen in all sectors. We have opened up, Government of India opened up lateral entry in various sectors, including joint secretaries, even secretary level lateral entries are being permitted. Bureaucracy in general and railway in particular is facing transformational changes. We are all aware. I'm not going to repeat. We are all happening. We are reading. To quote Deepak Chopra, all great changes are preceded by chaos. Railway can no longer be insular organization. It used to be. Transformation is rapid and speed is essence. Customers are getting better experience all over the places and elsewhere, and railway has lot of catching up. Railways are also evolving to meet the challenges, and we have our own role to play. There are concerns on cadre, especially in the minds of young officers. I can only say all efforts are being made and shall be made that your interest will be taken care of. Mrs. Vijayakanta also mentioned in her talk about this aspect. We must appreciate role of finance officers, and role of finance will only grow in future. It will grow more and more. With our professional competence, we can contribute much more. Jammu Seraji just mentioned about role of data analytics and artificial intelligence. I'll agree 100%. In fact, these are the buzzwords. I urge all young officers to move ahead on these areas. In fact, if you recall, the first computerization, third generation computerization EDP centers were creation of our seniors. In all places, all railways, we were the front runners on EDP center, data processing and computerization. So time has again come up to take up on these words of data, these areas of data analytics and artificial intelligence. A lot of trainings are being organized. I'll urge all youngsters, all officers at whatever level, it may be PHOD, it may be SAG, it may be J grade, it may be professionals, whoever want to take interest, please come forward and take this opportunity. Friends, cadre cannot grow in isolations. Railways as an organization need to grow multifold. There is a hope in form of national investment pipelines, we are all aware, and also national rail plans. There are a lot of seminars. Everybody spoke, I also spoke, we all been participating, I'm sure you know about it. So I will not go further on the capex plan of the same. I'll only say that ensuring huge funding requirement for these will be challenge for IRIS in near future. Accounting, costing, budgeting will continue to be important, but our growth will come from our ability to generate and raise resources. Government expects us to raise resources required for these huge capex plans. Raising loans through IRFC has its own limitations. I've been along with the chairman, Railway Board, several meetings we've been attending with the FM and several other front also with the CEO Niti, and where I'm privy to what is happening around. So that is with all consciousness I'm saying. Assets monetization will be the key to unlock values. Private participation is required, and hence our engagement with them is must to ensure relevance in the system. Assets monetization involves creation of new source of revenue by unlocking value of either to unutilized or underutilized public assets. For instance, railway stations or goods sheds are generally at the business center of city or heart of city, yet economic value derived is suboptimal. These public assets are significant source of Indian Railway. We have different classes of assets. In fact, during accounting reform, the FAR, what Niharji mentioned, it was a massive exercise which has been carried out. Different classes of assets could be lands, buildings, brownfield operation assets, financial assets such as equity shares, other miscellaneous assets. Some of these assets, which I mentioned, are maybe suboptimally utilized and could be appropriately monetized to create greater financial leverage and value for Indian Railways. The objective is to unlock the value of investment made in public assets which have not yielded commensurate or potentially returns so far. There may be several models available for monetization of these assets, like direct contractual approach with large upfront payments or small or no upfront payments coupled with annual payments, or structured financial models like different models of securitization of assets and monetization through bond markets. Trust models can be thought of, including InvITs, REITs, land monetizations, direct disinvestment of MOR PSUs, partly we have seen from IRFC or RailTel recently. Adoption of one or any other model would depend on many other factors like type and use of assets, objective for monetization, and sector-specific conditions. The actual amount of monetization between 1st April 2021, we just started, to 31st March 2024 will be eligible for one additional budget provision from general revenue towards repayment of a special loan of 79,398 crore rupee. In fact, like one of the speaker, probably Mr. Pandey mentioned, this loan can be completely waived, and which is a fact. When we were having a lot of deliberation, this thing, the entire loan or this special financial package can be waived. It's purely within our hand. Hence, our assets monetization in general should remain the focus area. Mobilization revenue from land monetization, for which RLD and RSDCC are doing a lot of work, should be explored vigorously with immediate effect. On the cadre front, timely promotions are being ensured by Railway Board. You would have seen panel of selection grade and SAG IRS officers were planned in such a way that promotion orders were issued before the due dates, so that not even single day delay is there. And I'm confident that the orders of HAG orders will also be coming very soon. Developing and adopting new skills is a continuous process with a view to give young probationary officers, IRS officers, an exposure of world-class railway systems, a week and more abroad tour as a part of their institutional training has been introduced, covering new rail systems such as high-speed rail, monorail, metro rail, as well as new technologies and concepts like heavy haul, dedicated freight corridor, etc. This is being organized primarily in Russia, Germany, and Japan. However, in view of pandemic last year, DOPT, which is the nodal ministry for entire government of India, it was decided not to conduct any foreign training during the year 2020-21. We hope with the pandemic ease out in near future, they will be again restored back. We are in touch. In fact, like all these three countries which I mentioned, they are in touch with us and they want to restore the training. And we are hopeful that even people who are probationary officers who are not visited, they'll be sent for these trainings. I'll also advise young officers to kindly visit DOPT website. I know there are many courses which are on the best of the, even like best of the countries, USA or whichever like you want to go. They are either fully funded or partially funded, which are sponsored by Government of India. If you are keen to pursue any of these courses, please do apply and we'll ensure your names are sponsored. IRIFEM Foundation was laid in 2013, which Reena mentioned, and we saw the beautiful video. In fact, I was fortunate to visit a couple of times even before inaugurations, and during inauguration I was there when Mr. Yadav as Chairman Railway Board inaugurated along with Mrs. Manjula Ranganathan as the then Financial Commissioner. It has come up really very well. Let us make it Center of Excellence jointly, all of us, and let us contribute for the same. Jammu Sairaji mentioned about accounting reform, which I also briefly touched upon my association with this. It has come up very well. In fact, like this was one of the projects which was mentioned in the 3 budget speeches continuously. It's a very rare project which can be mentioned, and it was in last general combined budget when railway budget was merged. It was mentioned by the then Honorable FM. And we delivered well in time. In fact, like almost 1 month before the targeted date, a project was delivered and 2 combined accrual-based financial statement was laid down. But this is area which is required to be followed up vigorously with the present grafting-based to online allocation-based, or say like what Niyarji just mentioned about this further improvement are required. CO accounting reform, Northern Railway is in touch with the CRIS, and ICI already progressing very well. And we hope we will be doing a second phase of accounting reform, and particularly an accrual-based accounting reform, this accrual accounting shortly. Similar steps are required for costing. Honorable Amar has been asking for the same. Let us move in that direction also. This is a continuous process, and any suggestion from any of our colleagues, right from probationers to our retired colleagues, our former FCs, are welcome. Friends, this year we are committed to prepone preparations of annual account to 30th of June instead of traditional 30th of September, which is stipulated by Government of India. This will help in generation of MIS and costing reports early. Last week I had discussion with C&AG personally, and we discussed this particular aspect, and he has fully agreed, and in fact he was quite anxious for the same. Your active participation in this is required. My advice to young officers is that they should not get too much into comfort zones. Comfort zone is good, but too much comfort in comfort zone is not really good for whatever stage. Not even for young officers, it applies to me also. They should work in the different areas, different general railways, and try to gain varied experience and exposure through secondment, deputations, etc. I thank all officers, especially RFMs and officers from Railway Board, particularly Ajay, Ajit, and AM Budget Pandeji, who have been supervising this event for this, making this event very successful. I also taking this opportunity to pay my heartful and sincere respect and regard for the colleagues whom we lost in past 1 year. Adapting to new normal times for the IRS Day, we have transitioned from personal presence, which Mr. Vijaykant mentioned about first IRS Day, to digital togetherness, which we are witnessing for the first time today. Yet celebrating the values and strength of IRS family, we do hope to celebrate IRS Day 2021 with the usual fest and fervor. Friend, two of my senior colleagues, AM Finance, which Surbhi mentioned, she on personal region, Dakshita is out, and GMDLW, Anjali is not well. She also conveys her greeting. Both of them conveys, Dakshita and Anjali conveys the greeting to all of you on this IRS Day. I wish you and your family all the very best. Please stay safe, stay healthy. COVID pandemic is again coming up. Let us take all the precautions. God bless us all. Thank you for the patient hearing. Once again, my compliments and let us best wishes for this IRS Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your words are a perfect blend of erudition, experience, foresight, technical expertise, and professional excellence worth emulating. We have been privileged today to hear and learn from the esteemed and experienced members of the fraternity. But it has been rightly said that in the beginner's mind, there are numerous possibilities.